Hello. I'm getting a bit fed up not being able to get out doing detecting, what with my bad leg and all. So I thought, oh, let's have a look through a few of the thousands of bits of things I've had through the years. When I was young, I used to travel an awful lot. And I used to go to Egypt when I was young. And there were no bother then, there were no problems. You could wander anywhere you wanted. It was absolutely brilliant. These are some bits and pieces I picked up, and I do assure you, I have not been grave robbing. See this? Just an ordinary bit of pot. But there's scratched on it, look. There is a staff, two staffs, and an ankh. Dominion and long life. This pot belonged to a pharaoh, and it was just lying around on the desert sand, abandoned. Here's one that came pretty near the Valley of the Kings. That one there, it's actually one of three, and I do believe it belonged to Tutankhamun, but that's, his name was there, his hieroglyphs, but that's all that's left. That's all you're going to get these days, you know. Now, interesting piece of granite from Aswan, but this came from the Ramesseum. Beautiful look. You see, it's worked, because this is a part of the largest statue of Ramesses II that was ever made from the Ramesseum. But granite is, it flakes apart. It's not a very good material to build stuff in. There was an earthquake and this 900-ton statue fell over. I mean, the highlight of whenever I go there is climbing up and standing in his ear hole. But it fractured, and there's bits that falling off all over, and they're falling off even now. And what the Egyptians did is they just picked all these bits up and they strewed them down the path to make a path. So on that path there are bits of this Ramesses II statue. I don't know. Bonny though, eh? Must have been nice when it was new and shiny. But let's stay on the old. We're still back, what, 3,500 years. See this? It's a fish. And they used to leave offerings in the tombs. So this is made of clay, and then that was carved out. I think it's clay. Yeah, I think it's clay. And they would pour molten glass into here, usually the blue stuff that you see, faience or whatever it's called. And they'd make these little fishes, and they'd leave them with the dead as offerings in the tombs. Here you can see where they've been flicking the glass out, and they've actually brought the mould. A genuine little mould for making fish. Found in the desert sands. Unbelievable, the stuff they miss. Look at that. Recognise her? Sekhmet, goddess. Cat goddess. And it's made of beeswax. Made out of beeswax. And I've got an idea. This one's actually been used as a pendant. Look, there was a little hole in there. It's bunged up. But they used to do it this way. They used to make them out of silver with the lost wax process, whereas this wax melted away and it filled up with the silver and left you with a little statue. But that, I think, well, of course it never got used, but that's coloured, look, so I think that was worn as it is. Somebody had a pot on YouTube the other day. This came out of they were digging this huge trench, and there was layer upon layer upon layer going back thousands of years down the side of this trench. Bits and pieces falling out all over the place. This comes from Cleopatra's period, and it was a bowl for cosmetics. Just put cosmetics in it. When I saw it, it was like that in the muck, and I thought, "Way, a bowl!" And then I picked it up, and that's all there was. But interesting, everything telling a story. They tell you when you're going along with your guide that there's pottery all over the place, and they say, "Nah, it's modern." No, it isn't. You're walking over bits of pottery that are 3,000-4,000 years old. It's all over the place. You find a piece like this lying on the top, it's old. That ribbing was only done on old pottery. This is fairly modern. I mean, this is less than 2,000 years old. It's from Christian. That's their Christian markings, and they came from near a Christian burial ground. Again, just lying on the top. This one, also from near the burial grounds, and I mean near. There was huge heaps of stuff all over the place in some places. See that? That's an eye. It's the Gnostic. And it was a platter. And it's Simeon ware. Roman. So that was, what you're looking at there. Just after Christianity, well, a couple of hundred years maybe, the Gnostics, the Noahs. Brilliant stories all these things tell. You never get a complete one. I had a walk up the West Valley once, which you never get to go up, and I saw this on the ground and I thought, "Whoa, hey, look, a stone axe." But it wasn't. It was I believe it's a brachiopod, I don't know. It's a fossil on a bit of the limestone. But, walking around in those days, and there was bits of stuff like this just lying around on the surface. Now this is my favourite. I didn't find this. This was made for me by a Christian friend up at Garagos, the monastery. And of course it's an ankh. Oh, can't hold it far enough away. But what they did, when I say they made it for me, they went round at the monastery, because they had a pottery there, picking up the old Roman decent clay pot like this, look, grinding it up, and then they reused the clay to make things. Now this is, God, how old is this? 40 years old, I think. Made for me by a friend at Garagos. An ankh. So that hangs up above my window actually. But beautiful, eh? Nice. They all reckon it was long life and things, but it was a sandal strap, this ankh. And the Egyptians believed if you had your sandals strapped firmly on, then you could get through life without stumbling. So you had a very long, productive life. It's funny how these myths and things come about. I've written a couple of books on this, so books you'll never get to see, I'll tell you. So anyway, let's hope my leg gets better and I can get out and actually do some detecting. Meanwhile, the database on the lead seals, I'm on it every hour of the day. Bringing it up to date and adding things. And it's coming on brilliant. Really brilliant. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that little trip around my youth in ancient Egypt. No coins there. No, no Ushabti out like that. I could put Ushabti here, but had a Christian friend there who used to make these things for the tourists by the thousand. Be very careful when you go to Egypt. There is nothing real in Egypt. It's all been made. Except if you could get out in the desert, but you can't now because it's too dangerous. I mean, I wouldn't go to Egypt now, quite frankly. I wouldn't feel safe. But it's a very, very sad thing. Anyway, I ramble on as I normally do. So you take care. Till I see you next time. Till I've got some gold and silver for you to look at. Get out there. It's just lying around. Go get it. Bye.